Hello and welcome to the midweek edition of Joy News Interactive. I'm Benis Abu Bedu. Here's what's up for discussion today. 70% of Ghanaians believe the country is heading in the wrong direction. That's according to a CDD report. We are finding out from you, are you part of that 70%? Do you think the country is heading in the wrong direction? And what's the reason for your answer? And hashtag Wednesday Wisdom is trending on worldwide trends. And just trying to find out from you some wise sayings or quotes that inspire you. And also, it's the Olympic season and we'll be bringing you something from Rio 2016. Here's how to get interactive with us on Facebook. Our name is Joy News on TV. When you get there, the various issues we discuss here are posted there. Kindly leave your comments in the comments section. You can tweet at us at Joy News on TV or send us a photo on Instagram. Our handle is Joy News on TV. Alternatively, you can send us a WhatsApp message on the number 0560 800,000 0560 800,000. Now let's move on to a first issue, and this CDD reports that's all over the place. Now, the findings of this report suggest that 70% of Ghanaians think the country is heading in the wrong direction. Well, I don't know if you're part of that 70 or the 30 that thinks we'll be on the right course. But whatever your answer is, kindly send me your reasons on the WhatsApp number 0560 800,000, and I'll be glad to share your opinion with the rest of the world. Before I come on to WhatsApp, let's hear what some people have been saying about this particular finding.
I can say that the country is moving in the right direction, because now for us, I just completed the school, and now after completing school, now I've even gotten a job. I've not even received my certificate, and I've even gotten a job. So for me, the country is moving forward and it's moving in the right direction.
I think statistically they are right, but if it's I feel that it's our attitude that's making everything so difficult for us, because our attitude towards work is very bad. And
yeah, I agree with what the reports actually, because things are hard in situations, and now employment, considering infrastructure, fares and all that, and even 3 square meals a day for some people is actually a very big problem.
Yeah, the country is moving in the wrong direction, in the extent that when you go out of school, you didn't get a job, you find it difficult working on the street before you get a job to do. Sometimes you need to establish yourself before you get something to do.
I would say it's moving into the wrong direction, because most of the graduate students are not getting employment, and it's really causing problem in the country.
I don't see any better things going on in this country, and everyone is like pushing himself into this office works and all kind of things. Doesn't even think of how to build up the nation. If everybody runs to the office things, now who is going to create and who's going to provide for us to eat?
I believe the country is moving in the wrong direction, because the leaders we have are not able to allocate resources very well, and there is a different direction of people, like the students who are graduating out of the tertiary institutions. They always want to be in the better place. They don't want to be as entrepreneurs creating jobs, and there's a lot of unemployment, and people are always moving out from the country. And I think all these things, and the supervision of the infrastructure that's been developed by the country.
I think that is subjective, all right, because everybody has his or her own opinion. For me, I would have to consider it in sector basis. For some of the sectors of the economy, I think that things are being done better, but even that there is more room for improvement. And for other sectors, considering education, the financial sector, and then, in fact, socioeconomic sectors of our lives, I think that so much has to be done.
The country is moving in the right direction because we have the sense of democracy. That's, we can share our ideas on through the media. That's the TV, like as you are doing now on the radio. We can give our complaints to sometimes good morning shows. So I think the country is moving in the right direction.
So, well, there you have it. People sharing their opinions. Let's get on to WhatsApp. This one says the survey is completely skewed, in your opinion, because 24,000 or 2,400 from 270,000 is complete absurdity, and that's what you think. And you add, we respect the CDD, but this is below the belt analysis, and this is Prince Gazy sending this from the WASSCE mines. And this one says they're right. Well, you alone constitute more than 69% of that. Ghana is moving in the wrong direction because there's been a ban on recruitment for jobs, huge electricity tariffs, transportation, among others. This is from Samuel Dufour in Kumasi. Thanks for that. And this is from Safo Jr. and Gorso. He says, I'm part of the 70% of Ghanaians who believe Ghana is heading in the wrong direction. And you're saying our economic growth says it all. It has dwindled from 8.4% in 2008 to 4.1% in 2016. A lot of your comments coming through here on WhatsApp. But let's get onto Facebook. A lot of people have been talking. We actually shared a story of that report on our Facebook page. Husseini Razak says, and he's calling himself Honorable Rabbit, and he's sending it this from WA, and he says, I hope a part of Ghanaians will disagree and discredit this survey from the institution. And he says, anyway, every average Ghanaian is aware that the country is broke. Some of us are just trying to make a cool out of the storms. For some of us, we are hoping and praying that things will get better in the coming days. Aliu Muhammad says this is not surprising, but don't be surprised the section of a society will come out lambasting and running down the institution that conducted the survey. And he says the survey has already been vindicated before its arrival by the national chairman for the governing party. He says that when the Muntie trio was asked to pay a fine of 10,000 cedis each, he said times are hard and raising that amount was going to be problematic. Bugri Bamia Jr. says the NDC with their propaganda still says the survey is incorrect, but Ghanaians still need change in the country. And Ben Kessie says this is no surprise looking at the hardship in the country. Interest rates are something else. Employment is, and he ends his comment just there. Ibrahim Musa Biligo says it's interesting to hear government seems to have lost this, especially in the fight against unemployment and corruption. Ishmael Abuaji says Ghanaians need no prophet or organization to tell us this. So, well, on Facebook, well, I think I'm safe to say that our respondents on Facebook, or the people who commented on this story on Facebook, seem to agree with the CDD report. And this one says, I'm part of the 70% that thinks things are hard these days. And this is Sapon Richard. Darren also says the country is moving in the wrong direction. But what are your reasons for all these, positions that you have? And this one says the country is moving in the right direction because we have a lot of infrastructural development going on. And this is Dauda from Triponi. And then this one says, okay, you didn't add your name and location to that message. Please remember to add your name and location. This one says, I'm part of the 70% high unemployment rate, high killer tariffs. The country is, grouping in debt and corruption. This is Roman in Hohoi. So, well, a lot of you sharing your thoughts about this report and which side you belong to, the 70% who think the country is heading in the wrong direction, or maybe the 30% who don't think so. Now let's talk about this. When everybody writes exams, I'm sure, I think a lot of people are eager to know how they fared. Well, WASSCE provisional results are out, but the news, it comes with some people, about 500 students had their papers cancelled. Some are still being investigated. But a lot of you have been commenting on this particular story we shared on our page on Joy News. WASSCE cancels results of 598 candidates. A lot of your comments here, and the details of that story is on myjoyonline.com, or you can get onto a Facebook page and click on that particular link we've shared, and it will direct you. Mohammed Astro Damango says the West African Examination Council should design a different policy that can take care of exam malpractices than cancelling of papers completely. And he's asking, what do you expect those students to be doing after this sad and frustrating incident? He says, as a matter of fact, this is the only reason behind increase of criminality and armed robbery in Ghana. Mohammed Ashto Damongo, they were warned, they were told, don't take mobile phones to the examination center, and they did. There should be some form of discipline, if you ask me, for people who decide not to abide by the rules. Mahama Bako just says, I'm waiting for the day that some serious rich man will send them to court. That day they will learn sense, and he thinks, okay, he's asking if the students work in WAEC offices with you. I think that sometimes you should, click on the story, read the details, and it could help, shape up your understanding of what's really happening. Now, the news you're picking up is that most of these students went into the examination hall with mobile phones, and WAEC before the exam said if you were found with any foreign material in the examination hall, your paper will be cancelled. I think that should have been enough to deter students from doing such things. Madin Michael says more prudent and scientific processes, procedures, and publicity needed in the cancellation of results, or else innocent souls would always be part of these things. Henry John says it's painful though if you're innocent of any more practice and your results get cancelled. Aizo Emmanuel says, was the paper cancelled because of students cheating in the exam room, or it's because of the leakage of the paper? If it's the latter, the parents of those students whose papers were cancelled should sue WAEC. Hannah Dankwa says this is not fair. It's high time people stop these so-called cancelled paper of yours. But well, I think we should give WAEC some credit for warning the students ahead of time before they wrote or sat for the exams. This one says, why cancelling of WASSCE results again by WAEC? And Mike Chikodu from Ho says they should be punished for their disobedience. This says, in this country we have our own ways of doing things. The government is on our shoulders. We decide who becomes president. Ghanaians changes here. This is Obet from KNUST. And Achu is saying, no jobs, buying drugs with NHIS, and he goes on and on and on, and he's commented on that CDD report. And this one says, CDD, you're funny. Are you telling us 70% of registered voters were interviewed? This is coming from Patinga. And this one says, we'll continue to have falling standards because some teachers have not been paid for many years. They are teaching without salary. And this is sent by Morris. And this one says, I think our teachers are doing their best in the sense that they obtain F in chains. I don't know what to make of this F in chains, but I've actually seen someone's result slip that is all F in chains. I don't know if someone tried to do some editing there, but that will be some big deal. And this one says, why are leaders finding it difficult to tell a simple truth? And you sigh and you say, God is watching all of us. We shall surely pay for our iniquities. God save Mother Ghana. And this is Fofo from Takwa. A lot of your comments coming in and talking about that CDD report and the WAEC provisional results that have been released. You're still watching Joy News Interactive with me, Benis Abubedi. There's a lot more to discuss. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. What's that wise saying? What's that proverb? What's that inspiring quote that has guided you all through life? When I come back, we'll be talking about that. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with me on Joy News Interactive. My name is Benis Abubedi. Now let's talk about hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. People all over the world are tweeting about quotes or wise sayings. Do you have any you'd love to share? Before you share, let's get onto Twitter and let's see what's been trending.
On the worldwide trends today, hashtag Wednesday Wisdom is trending. People are tweeting famous and not so famous quotes and words of wisdom. Let's check some of the tweets out. Vala Ashvar tweets, 21st century version of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. At Psychology's Mark tweets, be the reason someone smiles today. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. At Snotface tweets, don't allow someone who is unclear in their own lives to cast a shadow over yours. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. At Muse for Now tweets, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, Then Walk by Martin Luther King. Hashtag quote, hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. And Miley Goes tweets, Don't count the days, make the days count by Muhammad Ali. Hashtag inspiration, hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. C4 Paralympics tweets, work hard until the day comes when you no longer need to introduce yourself, then work harder. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. At Mr. LXC tweets, always have 3 things: something to do, something to love, and a goal to reach for. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. At the Candid Diva tweets, looking sharp is easy, but shows you haven't done anything. Hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. That's all for Twitter Trends today.
I like the one that says looking sharp is good, but it means you haven't been used. Let's get onto Facebook. A lot of interesting, white sayings people are sharing here with us. Henry Jan says, I don't smoke, but I keep a matchbox in my pocket. When my heart slips towards sin, I burn a matchstick and heat my palm, then say to myself, Ali, you can't even bear this heat. How can you bear the unbearable heat of hell? Hashtag Legend Ali. So that's his quote. That's what he thinks has inspired him. Real Biggie Tieku says, to whom who destined for power does not fight for it. Moreover, a thing for you is never lost. Abu Sadiq says, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Interesting. Mama Bakojo says, good lines. My favorite is the 4th one in season 4 episode. Okay. And Nambe Patrick says, the opportunity given to a goat to wear football boots doesn't guarantee it to play football. Okay. Abuaja Simon says, if there is no mistake to be corrected, a pencil would not have an eraser at its end. Bobby Fifi Nkonu says, until the importance of change is realized, the process of change becomes a compulsion. Emmanuel Tete says, most African women will not be going for the Olympics in Brazil. They're afraid to meet the owners of their hair. That is really funny, but is that a wise saying? Interesting. TJ says, never give a dog a bad name and hang it. I think this is coming from a tree saying. I can't remember, but I think so. Madin Michael says, it is those who have that eat not those who are hungry. And Sana Mohammed says, who the cap fits, let them wear it. But here on WhatsApp, a lot of you are already sharing what that wise or inspiring quote is. This one says, I think for you it's never lost. I want to use this opportunity to express my appreciation. Okay, thank you so much, Mohammed Astro Damongo. This one says is from Safo Jr. and Gorso, and you're saying law and order exist for the purpose of establishing justice, and when they fail in this purpose, they become the dangerously structured dams that block the flow of social progress. And you're quoting Martin Luther King Jr. Well, it's hashtag Wednesday Wisdom, and I'm asking you, what's that quote or what's that saying that has inspired you throughout life? And this one says, my heart is burning. Okay. This is when another man builds a wall, another man wants to know what is behind the wall. And this is Ben Kesse singing us this from UCC. Raman in Hohoi says, everyone is wise until he speaks. So, well, spread the hashtag Wednesday Wisdom. Who knows, you could inspire someone by a quote you share. Now, let's talk about Rio 2016. And there's been a lot that's been happening, from people getting really serious injuries. And yesterday, I brought you a photo of the North and South Korea gymnasts who took a selfie together, and it went viral. This time around is some racist comments that were made by an Italian gymnast. Okay, so there you have it. This is Simeon, who represented the USA, and she actually won gold in gymnastics for the ladies. And the Italian lady said, maybe next time we'll paint our skin black so we can win. Italian gymnast sparks fury with racist jibe at 16-year-old new world champion. So she's been trending. She actually granted an interview and said that. A lot of you have been commenting about this. Bobby Fifi Nkonu says, oh, I don't see racism in this comment. I believe she's rather upholding black since she meant she could have done better if she was black. Let's see good sometimes, don't spark anger for no reason. Prince Boateng's success says, I don't know or haven't heard her tone when she was speaking, but I think she might have said that with a rather positive mind. What if perhaps she was rather praising and complimenting the beauty and prowess in the color black? I reckon she wasn't trying to sound racist, but rather respecting black. So if you want to see that video and maybe hear her herself so you can judge the tone, get onto our Facebook page. That story has been shared. You can click on the link. The video is there. She actually rendered an apology on Twitter. So there's been a lot going on at Rio 2016. But here's someone's prediction on what may happen sometime in the year in the Olympics. Well, that's all time will allow us. Thanks for your company on the most interactive show on TV. It's a pleasure to read and share your views on trending and salient issues. I'm Bernice Abubedu. Before I go, let me just remind you that the conversation continues on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Joy News on TV. Same name will find us on Twitter and Instagram. Alternatively, you can send us a WhatsApp message on the number 0560 800,000. Do enjoy the rest of your day.